Let me make sure you understand what these knives is about. So before gunpowder, it was knives, spears, and clubs. So an axe is considered a club also. Mm-hmm. So, but to understand Wing Chun well, you had to understand that it's a knife fighting art. Mm-hmm. So the same thing you do with the knives, you do with your hands. So when you throw punches, slower. So when you put the knives down, your hands are doing the same thing. Although with control. At ease, fellas. Today, we're going to get right into it. It's going to be the second part about learning about bridging. In the previous video, when I told you about bridging, I showed you from the Taizu form of the 5 ancestor fists about using linear straight lines and using your hands the same way that the knives use to chop your way in. So if your adversary had his hands up and you had to square up, hands up, you would chop your way in and stick by using the knives, spear, and the small knife and tie it all together with sticking and sensitivity. When I use the knife fighting arts and apply higher levels of Wing Chun, we're using Cheun Jin, which is explosive short range power. So when we talk about short range power, you should already be familiar with short range power from when Bruce Lee showed you the inch punch, the little short punch. So using Cheun Jin explosive energy in my bridging process, I'm using this jutting energy, this shocking energy. So I'm using this part of my hand, which the bone here is the striking surface. So if he were to throw a jab, again, to him, it would feel like a ball peen hammer. So this is how I chop my way in. So it's a very painful situation.
It's painful.
So if I turn it up, because Wing Chun, iron arms, we condition the arms to deliver punishment. You know, in the bridging process, I would love for him to just not do nothing and I can come over here and just fire, but he's going to put up a defense. So I want that tree, but he's going to put limbs up. So I'm just going to cut through him. You know, everything he puts up, and that's just the first part of bridging. The second thing about this particular video is using the Lohan, the ball and chain from the 5 ancestor fists to add that into the bridging process. This is where the circular punches come from in boxing. Oh yeah, this is Chinese boxing, where we also use Americanized boxing to punch, uppercuts, quickness of the feet, movement all 4 ways. So to deal with MMA, you have to adapt. So you have to have that raw energy to brawl out with a person if you need to. So over here in modern Wing Chun, everything is involved. If I need to box with you, I'm gonna box with you. If I need to just be Wing Chun, I can do that. If I need to fight you from an eskrima point of view, hands come out. That also. Jiu-jitsu, wrestling, all that is understood. So when I'm using this ball and chain, it's like how we used to snap a towel. So I'm swinging this knuckle. So you have to have the looseness and the articulation and the softness of the internal style to make this work. So with his hands up like this, and if I want to strike, I'm putting this big knuckle on the nerves along here or in here. So 50% of the time, I can hit one of them nerves and dead that arm. And if you ask him, he'll tell you that it hurts. So I can use it in double, where, 2 different spots. It's very precise. Wing Chun is about precision. So with dealing with that, the bridging process over here can not just be with one hand from Man Tao. You can also learn to use both of your hands. So when you get your stickiness and you get good at it, bridging is easy. I just go over there and force him to give me his hands one way or another. If I have to flinch at him, see, he gave me his hands. If I using silk reeling, where now he belongs to me. It's all about sticking and control. And I haven't even said anything about using the feet, because Wing Chun is 2 hands and 1 foot at all times. So as he punch, there's a foot involved. So I'm attacking his leg. So he has 2 things to worry about: hands and feet at all times. So when I'm talking about using the feet, you've seen Bruce Lee use this kick before. This little slant kick here. You've seen Bruce Lee use it plenty of times. So the first iteration of this slant kick was at first to annoy your attacker and give him something to think about, to let him know that it's not just the hands, it's the foot also. So we're going to take him off his game plan. So from modern Arnis and Dan Anderson, instead of this just being a slant kick, now we're using it like we're punching things out. So now this kick is just like the vertical punch. So now I'm using my foot the same way. And it's not just a slant kick anymore. Now we're blowing things out. So everything is always being upgraded and expanded. So dealing with the bridging process. So now when we have either bridging one way and having a sticky hand, or bridging 2 ways into control, getting into Nei Jin, I'm able to freeze the opponent, control him where he can't move. So this is freezing. So I have him under control until I say so. So to understand what I'm talking about with this bridging process, it's not going to be no patty cake. You guys are so used to seeing us doing this, and we're trying to show you how we deflect. When I add this bridging process to you, it's not going to be patty cake. It's going to be patty whack. So every time you throw something out, you're just going to get brutalized, and it's going to feel like I'm hitting you with a ball peen hammer. You see him over there rubbing his arm? And I was just being light. You stick a arm over here. So yeah, it's not patty cake, patty whack. Just like that ball and chain coming at you real quick, like, until I get my way in to control. And here, much as he fight, I could always get him because I'm the one in control. So now that you understand this bridging process, if I was you, I would hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, because I got a whole lot more for you. So it would behoove you to watch either one of these videos, sticking, or the first video about bridging. Catch you on the next one.
So check it. When you meet us, you better bring your heaters, because the only way you can beat us is if you cheat us.